All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of hashtag CB99 Talks, episode 145. We back again, y'all. And I'm live. I'm live. Just so y'all know what's going on. I see Marcus Bell, G Frame, of course, BJ in the building. What's going on? Back with another one, y'all. We back in the building, man. And y'all know what we talking about. I know y'all see these you see these pictures. You see this thumbnail right here. You know what we're gonna be discussing right here. I know some feelings might be hurt when we talk about some of these fights, but hey, it ain't my fault. It is not my fault. The results are in, and that's what it is, right? But yeah, man. Let me make sure I got this sound up right. Make sure y'all can hear me. Yeah, y'all can hear me. Yeah, man. We got a lot to talk about. Got a bunch of fights. That's why I just said, look, we're gonna do a flyweight report for 2024. We're not even like full 2024. We're talking about the first quarter. Like this the first quarter, because I was just looking at like the schedule, man, and we got a lot of fights. When I first looked at it last week, if you include this past weekend's two flyweight fights, we had like, let's see, 3, 6, 9. We had like 9 flyweight fights from February all the way up to April. That's 9 flyweight fights. All right. And that's what I want to talk about on this live. We're going to talk about these fights that's coming up, the fights that already happened. And I'm going to jump back, actually. I'm going to jump back a little bit further, and some people think I'm hating. No, look, I just want to jump back and kind of discuss a couple of these fights that are leading up to where the division is right now. I want to talk about some of these threats in the division and just where a lot of these other fighters stand, because we're going to talk about some levels, man. That's what it is. We just got to discuss levels. Look at BJ kind of he want to roll his eyes, but you know what I'm talking about, man. You know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to this division. It's dog eat dog, man. It's cutthroat. You got to have the skills, and you got to have the skills, and you got to have the dog. We always looking at fighters to put on a show and have that dog, man. You got to have the skills too, man. You gotta have some skills to back it up. This ain't just like, oh, come in there, show how good my chin is, put on a good show. That don't get you that far. That is not going to get you that far, man. You got to have the skills. And where we stand right now, this division is the hottest. It's the hottest. BJ said, remember when they said flyweight was lacking? I remember clearly, BJ, and I remember it was you and me talking about this division was about to set everything on fire for WMMA. All right. And now the mainstream want to talk about, oh, yeah, this division hot. We've been saying that. I'll be like, I ain't hear nobody say that before. On mainstream, everybody was talking about strawweight or looking for bantamweight or just talking about other divisions, mostly the men's division. But we were the ones talking about the women that were coming up, the women that were going to take over, and the women that could eventually beat Valentina Shevchenko. All right. Because the fighters that were around her, we was like, okay, this is what they need, but I don't think they have it. But so-and-so that's on the come up, they might give Valentina a tough fight. Whether I'm talking about Tyler, because I included her, I said Tyler Santos, she going to be the one that might give Valentina that fight. And she did. And I say even Manon. Okay, Manon, she might be the one. Then you got Aaron, who's the one talking with confidence. And BJ, he's the one talking about Grasso. BJ, he the one said Grasso. I got to give him credit on that. He said Alexa Grasso is in his threat for a reason. And what happened? Somebody in that come up, Alexa Grasso, was the one that took Valentina out. So yeah, it's a division, man, that you just can't take your eyes off of right now. I love strawweight. I love 115, but right now, we are looking at the hottest division, and we got, like I said, we got 9 fights coming up. We got 9. Well, like I said, 2's already done. So we got 7 fights, and we're gonna look back at some of the fights that already happened. So let's pull up some slides here, because I ain't got I'm not using, what is it called? OBS. I haven't used OBS in a while. I would use OBS to kind of let the slides play. BJ, you know what I'm talking about, but I don't have that up. I'm just using StreamYard, so I have to pull the slideshow up on the side. So what I want to do, I just kind of want to go back to some fights from late December, and then we're gonna go all the way up to April. We're gonna go in order of the fights that's on the come up, just so y'all know what to look out for. Because I was surprised. I said, "Dang, this is all happening in the first 4 months of this year." And I'm including all of them. Like I said, when I'm looking at flyweight, I'm looking at the unranked fights too, because they've been some good fights. They've been some good fights. I can't say, oh man, this is boring or bad, like casual fans say. Casual fans always talking about, oh man, like that's a bathroom break right there. All right, cool, fine. You just missed something. People talking about Marina Rodriguez versus Andrade as a bathroom break. Y'all crazy. I mean, the fight might not be of significance as far as title shot to some, but come on. Marina Rodriguez and Andrade going to bring it. They're going to bring it. So you can miss out. But don't get mad when you come back and somebody, like, who was that last week or the other weekend? Chris Curtis and his opponent, they were putting on a fight and everybody was complaining. Shoot, I was laid back in my chair while I was calling that fight. I was like, okay. So does it really matter if it's a man or woman now? It's like, does it really matter? No, I really don't. It comes down to whoever's going to put on some action. That's it, right? But yeah, anyways, let's take a look here, y'all. Flyweight report for early 2024. A lot of fights, we're going to run through here. And before we talk about the new ones, let's look back here at December. Let's go back to December 26th, all right? Look, no hate here. We're going to go back to December 16th, sorry. December 16th. Because this is kind of a turning point for the division too, as far as like the matches being made and we getting questions answered, all right? So this fight right here kind of kicked it off for me as far as like the flyweight division kind of speaking to us now on what's the hottest division and who's looking like a threat. Okay, this one here kind of kicked it off, back in December. Ariane Lipsky, she's one that I wasn't really like looking at as like this threat at any point, but when she started stepping her game up, even all the way back to the beginning of the year, against Aldridge and my potential threat in Gatto, I had to, I said, okay, let's see if she can do it one more time. The third time was a charm, Gatto, Aldridge, and now Casey O'Neill, who's ranked. I said, you know what? I got to put some respect on her name. Got to put respect on Ariane Lipsky's name, because now look, she's showing different levels. I mean, striking, the down defense, her power. Lipsky is that threat. And this fight against Casey O'Neill a couple months ago, I had to go with Lipsky. I had to make that choice and say, I think Lipsky's going to do it, man, because even though Casey is a dog, she'll come in there, put some punches together, some volume. I said, I just don't know about this fight. I just don't know if this is going to be that one. Like she's just not going to get Lipsky down if her takedown defense is the way it was against these other fighters, like Gatto and Aldridge, and she set it off, man. At the end of the year, this is how she set it off, man. She set it off with this fight right here. Lipsky ended the year with this second round submission. Now, I thought personally, it was going to be a second round knockout. BJ, he always called them second rounds, but I thought it was going to be like a second round knockout or third round finish. you know, but she showed the submission game. Lipsky wanted to, and Casey O'Neill wanted to get the fight to the ground. Lipsky said, okay, we can do that. She said, you want to go to the ground? Sure, we can do that. Because she knew she couldn't stand with her. She couldn't take the power. And in that second round, when she landed that shot, I was like, oh, she might knock her out. But she gave her what she wanted and went to the ground. So, yeah, Lipsky, she kind of put herself on the map. She definitely made herself known with this win because everybody, like I said, they'd be looking at Casey O'Neill thinking, okay, she's going to be this next one. Or they just get caught up in the action side of her. And they think she's going to be this next fighter, that she's going to be the one. But some of the things I said in the past about Casey O'Neill, she's lacking defense, her lack of defense, just kind of lack of physical strength too. I'll say that too. I think she has a lack of physical strength as well. That's what's kind of slowed her down in some of these fights. She's not able to put that weight on a fighter and get him down because she just doesn't have that strength, even like a fighter like Aaron Blanchfield. So her lacking some of those tools like that, going in there with Lipsky, I just couldn't pick her, man. So yeah, Lipsky, she kicked it off with this fight right here. And I think, man, like with the way she's moving right now, you'll definitely see Lipsky get the top 7 here pretty soon with the way the division is looking and the way they are trying to push some fighters up. And that's what you got to do, because between her and Natalia Silva and Macy Barber, we can say all day, oh, so-and-so may not get the belt. They ain't that good. Well, they're beating a lot of these other fighters, and they're passing the test. And you want these old fighters going, right? So, all right, this is what we need. This is what we need. But yeah, as far as like Casey O'Neill goes, I'm not going to count a fighter out totally. I know some people going to go ahead and say this is it for BJ. Think I hate her, but I don't hate her, man. Like, I don't dislike Casey O'Neill. I'm just calling what I see when it comes to her skill sets. Like, she's tough and she will throw strikes and she does throw some good high kicks and head kicks, but she just lacks defense. And like, you won't get far with that lack of defense like that. When you're dealing with fighters that have high striking IQ now at flyweight, you can't walk through a lot of punches no more. You just can't. So I think she just has to slow it down, find her openings and work with timing because, she's not going to catch up with speed. I think she just needs to work on her timing and, use her length and don't walk into a lot of punches. Kind of like Mackenzie Dern. This was similar to Andrade Dern. She was getting caught. She was getting caught with a lot of shots, So I'm just saying, I think she has a chance. She definitely has a chance. As long as she keeps trying, she has a potential to, she has like the Pena quality, the Juliana Pena quality about her. You know what I mean? Like there's no quit in them. There's no quit in them. And there's that fight that eventually somebody that can't withstand the pressure will crumble to them. But right now, I don't see a lot of these girls crumbling to pressure. Like that's why she needs to round it out with skills because I don't see Macy Barber, Natalia Silva, Chikagan, Manon, Aaron. I don't see them type of fighters crumbling to pressure like that. So you gotta get your skills up. That's all it is with her. So that's why I just wanted to say she ain't got any fights coming up right now, but I just want to put that on record. I know BJ gonna swear up and down I hate her, but I don't. I don't hate her, all right? But this is what she needs to do, okay? But I see y'all in the comment section. What's going on, Lolita, Robot, Brian? I see y'all over there. He said she better pick the right opponent, Brian. Yeah, like somebody that she can work on certain skills with, that would be wise for her. Robot Chicken said, Casey, isn't that the girl combo? Isn't that girl combo? I think you've been polite long enough. Casey is a regional fighter. I thought y'all liked her. Like when I used to go in about Casey O'Neill, y'all would be like, oh yeah, because What did you think about a Robot Chicken? Did we disagree on her? I know we disagree on Macy Chason. Like, I like Macy Chason. I know you don't, but didn't we disagree on Casey? Like, weren't you saying Casey was going to be top dog too? I don't know. I'm just making sure. Because we all have conversations, but okay. Yeah, Gatto actually has an opponent coming up. It won't be Casey O'Neill, but that would be a nice fight eventually. But I think Casey O'Neill needs somebody that she can kind of build off of and get her confidence back. Yeah, JJ Aldridge is a good name for everybody else is taken, but yeah, JJ Aldridge would be good. Who else? Her and Teresa Blader might be a good fight, style wise. But yeah, she just got to get some work in. She just got to get that work in. That's all it is for Casey O'Neill. She's not a horrible fighter. She's not somebody I think has a low IQ. I think she's just young and she just needs that wake up call. All right. All right. So let's see. Let's take a look at another fight that took place. This fight was good, but it was kind of disappointing because the fight didn't turn out to be a flyweight fight. Turned out to be a bantamweight fight, but I got to put it on there because I had it as a list of fights that was coming up. I wanted to see, and it answers some questions as far as skill sets with Jasmine, and it also answered questions about Priscilla Cachoeira. Right? it also said that Cachoeira might need to go to BKFC. Look, I'm just saying. That's what it was saying to me after watching this fight. I said, "Oh man, like." I think Priscilla Cachoeira needs to be in BKFC right now because Cachoeira, her discipline, whether it be her weight or her style, or again, her skills, it all says, I just want to get paid and I just want to put on some type of show. That's all I get from her. Like, I don't get improvements. I don't get any type of improvements from Cachoeira. So questions for her were answered. Does she need to be cut? More than likely, yeah. Cachoeira needs to be cut because she's just not on UFC level. Like, I don't even know if she's on a PFL level right now. I think girls in like LFA would beat her if they, if they see these tapes, if they see these tapes with her, then they should know, oh, I got this. That's how low down. That's how far down she fell. Well, I won't even say fell because she's always been that way. All the way back to the Valentina fight. She was always the same. She's always been the same. So, I think that it was just a matter of time for somebody, well, not just somebody, but somebody's put beating, that type of beating on her in consecutive times is going to say, okay, it's time for her to go. Miranda Maverick, Jasmine, Jillian Robertson. I mean, she's been beat all kinds of ways. She's been submitted. She's been TKO'd. She poked a lot of eyes, So I think, yeah, with all that weight, dirty fighting, lack of skills, just needs to go. And again, I ain't saying nothing mean. I'm just saying what I see. It's just truth. Like, if I see a bad movie, I'm going to be, oh, that's a bad movie right there. Can't watch it, So I just think, yeah, like she's got to go because, again, flyweight is just too good for her. I think it is. I think it's just too good for her. I think we tired of seeing her on this end, I am. But Jasmine, she answered some questions because, yeah, she's gotten better. I think she's gotten better. She wanted to make weight. She's gotten stronger. I think she's kind of fallen into her timing. How she throws her lengthy jab and she's not really walking into a lot of punches. Because surprisingly, Cachoeira didn't really hit her a lot. Cachoeira surprisingly did not hit her with a lot of shots. Like, Cachoeira did not really even stun her too much in this fight. Did she stun her at all? I don't think she did stun her, did she? Oh, appreciate that running ring with a 2 spots. She said MMA friends forever. Yeah, I don't think that she did she? She didn't really get rocked in this fight. Jasmine didn't. But Jasmine did kind of show some discipline. Like, she knew Cachoeira had the power to hurt her, so she kind of slowed the pace down, which was I like that. She slowed the pace down to show that she could fight behind the jab and she didn't run straight into a lot of punches. So off what I seen in this fight too, like the way she fought without leading with her chin showed me that she could probably beat somebody like Andrade too. And that is saying something because we think she some people thought she was a punching bag, but not necessarily. She slowed it down and she's big, durable, and strong. So I think Jasmine, she has, let me see, Jasmine is ranked number 14. I actually think Jasmine has the ability to get the top 10. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I know some people might disagree on that, but I think Jasmine can get the top 10. Like, I don't think necessarily she'll be champion right now. I'm not thinking she's like champion, but I think she could be top 10. Because I think she's strong, in that wrestling base, and that physical strength of hers has the having all of that gives her the potential to get the top 10. Okay, I think all that has all of that put together gives her that potential. It gives her that potential to get to the top 10. Not top 5, not top 2. So don't get mad. I think she can get the top 10 at least. The things that would probably keep her from getting the belt would be like speed and striking IQ and takedown defense. And that was kind of like, you saw the evidence in that in the Natalia Silva fight. So if she was to fight somebody like Manon, I think Manon would beat her. Even in Chikagan, I think right now fighters like Manon and Chikagan would beat her. Even like if Grasso lost the belt, let's say if Grasso lost the belt and Jasmine had to fight her, I think Grasso would beat her. The tougher fights that would become more like well-rounded would be her in like Macy Barber or something. I think Aaron would beat her, but I think her and Macy, that would be kind of a tough fight because of the style clash. So yeah, I think she's she could get the top 10. I think so. Because you see some well-rounded, Ravioli. You see some well-rounded skills in there. Long jab. She knocked Priscilla Cachoeira down, right? She's the one scoring the knockdown. So good wrestling base and good striking. She could probably get there. All right. So yeah, those two fights took place, the past, month or so. Last weekend we had 2 more flyweight fights, but again, we had a weight miss. I got to talk about this one a little bit as far as where it puts fighters right now. Now, again, not ragging, all right, but look, this was like an emergency last-minute pick for me. I mean, that alarm went off in my head. It was like ringing. It said, change your pick. It's a change your pick. And I was like, uh-oh. I better change my pick. So I said, oh, no. Can't go with Stoliarenko. I know everybody was kind of rocking with Stoliarenko in this one. And I ain't gonna blame BJ. Like, BJ didn't talk everybody into this one. People just felt like Luana Carolina wasn't that good. But I sat down and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Okay, let me think here. I said, you know what, Luana Carolina, aside from the weight miss, I said, you know what, Luana Carolina she has some tools here, and she's bringing a style that could really give Stoliarenko problems. And the reason I say that is because I went back and looked. I said, you know what? This could be like this could be like the Carolina and Cachoeira fight. This could be like Carolina and Cachoeira fight where that footwork and, that movement and that striking is going to give her problems. Because, Stoliarenko, she's kind of a brawler. Like, only time she gonna connect is when you on the inside with her. Yeah, she'll brawl with you like that, but she don't really have like the foot movement and the pressure to corner you and hit you. Like, she leads a lot with her head. She leads with her head a lot, and she's gonna like grab you and hold you until she can get you down. And that's where she thrives. But even in this fight, when she did get it down, she wasn't successful. So when I saw that too in the fight, I was like, yeah, I'm glad I changed my pick. I said, I'm glad I changed my pick on this one because Stoliarenko, not only is she getting knotted up, by Luana Carolina here, but she's not going to submit Carolina. Luana Carolina, she was in some scary moments in this fight, but her takedown defense improved. I don't know if the extra weight was really that much of a difference, but even the fence work, the cage work. She was putting a lot of weight pressure on Stoliarenko, and then the knees to the gut. Stoliarenko was tearing that gut. I mean, Carolina was tearing Stoliarenko's gut up. Them knees to the liver were hurting. But then she caught her with a couple of shots. I was like, man, like Stoliarenko's got some work to do here. In mid punch, I was like, this is what I've been talking about with her. Like, it's not just the weight. I think if her striking was halfway decent and her defense was a lot better, she would have succeeded in the other weight divisions, like 135 or 145. So this was kind of proof that it wasn't really just weight. I think it just come down to like discipline as far as skill sets again. But yeah, Luana Carolina, like I said, man, like she shown some improvements on the ground and with her striking. Does it make her top 15 material yet? I can't say that. Because Stoliarenko isn't really like that dangerous of an opponent. I mean, she looked like that against Molly McCann, but what was Molly McCann on the ground before, right? Molly McCann is really not known for a reputation on the ground. I mean, ask Aaron Blanchfield. So I think Carolina still has some things to do. She got things to work through, and she's shown some improvement. She has some potential with her movement. She can be an awkward fighter. I think she has the potential, like, to be like a Chikagan in the division. Like, she really does to me. Like, she could be Chikagan in this division as far as her movement and punches. I think it's just her focus. Sometimes she loses it. I think focus and takedown defense were her problems before. Because you see with Chikagan's focused. Like, Chikagan is focused throughout her fights. That's why she was all the way at the top, and that's why she did get a title shot. Show way more focus. So I think if Carolina is that focused and her takedown defense gets better, yeah, sure, she could. I mean, hey, she got one more stoppage than Chikagan does. She got one more stoppage than Chikagan does. Let that sink in there. All right. But yeah, Stoliarenko, I think her issue is really like her defense, man, and like just that work as far as going back to the gym and working on slowing the pace down too. Like her and Casey O'Neill, they got to slow it down. They want to brawl so bad that that's all that's on their mind. They don't really slow it down to pick shots. They just want to get right in there, man. So that's the thing, man. That's what's really going to be a problem for them girls. All right. Let me see. Walter said Cortez and Silva needs to happen. Neither of them have dance partners that I can see. Karine Silva has a partner. Tracy Cortez doesn't. And if you're talking about Natalia Silva, she just came off a win. So I don't. You talking about Karine Silva don't have it? Well, Natalia Silva just fought, and Karine Silva got a fight, and we're gonna talk about that here later. So, yeah. All right. Hold on. Okay, so yeah. Getting stopped by Luana Carolina too, man. That had me like, what? When I saw Stoliarenko getting wailed on like that, and no, I'm not being funny. I'm just saying, like, so watching her get hit in the face and she was like kind of closing her eyes. I was like, oh, is she about to go to sleep? Or is she just like mentally checked out? And she checked out. She just checked out, man. So yeah. Let's see. Also, let's check this fight on the card. We had this fight. Let's talk about Natalia Silva and Viviana Araújo. All right. Got this pick. And you know what? I had to go with decision. I wasn't getting greedy with this one. You know, some people going to go ahead and say, oh, yeah, this girl got the goods. Knockout. They're going to say Natalia Silva, knockout. I'm like, no, like, I'm really like watching the fighters. Like, when I watch these fighters, I'm really watching. Like, I'm matching them up and I'm going to be real and honest about it. So, when I saw Natalia Silva's last couple performances, I said, okay, this particular fighter, yeah, she'll knock out because this is what they do. They just walk in and they say, here's my chin. You can have it. Right. But when she got in there with Andrea Lee, potential was there to get stopped. I said she might be the first to do it. You know, I was like, okay, she might be the first to stop her. And she could have stopped Andrea Lee in the first round, but kind of took her foot off the gas a little bit. And fought more of a safety first fight. And to me, I don't really have a problem with that because like I would say, as competition, as you move up, competition gets stiffer. You know, I think competition gets stiffer, and also you're getting closer to a title shot. So you really don't want to put everything at risk and get caught with a head kick and then boom, everything's gone, or get caught with a right hand and get knocked out. Then what? You know, so to me, I enjoy that other gear sometimes when a fighter can say, okay, I'm not going to put all my chips in the third or second round. If I can beat this person with pure technique, or if I have the advantage, let's go ahead and ride it out. Or, you know, let's go ahead and stay here and ride it out. We ain't gonna put everything on. You know, we're gonna just stay in this lane. Because for the most part, she's still entertaining. You know, she's not a boring fighter. You know, I think Natalia Silva did what she needed to do. The knockout was probably there with a few more head kicks or so, a few more traps. But again, going off of who she's fighting, maybe she just felt like, okay, I'm gonna stay right here. And you kind of do you want to do that sometimes. You just want to stay in that lane, you know. I say that even about Manon. Like there's times, okay, she probably could have stopped Chikagan. But, you know, even with the Chikagan fight, she didn't really have to worry about power with Chikagan. So I think she could have ran through her. But in this fight here, Silva probably could have taken her out. You know, she probably could have taken her out because she landed some nice head kicks in this fight, you know. But if you want to get closer to the belt, that's what it's about. You want to get to the belt, this is what it's about. You know, you want to get victories. That's what it's about. Just keep getting the victory. Keep getting the victory. Don't listen to other people, you know. Don't listen to us when we keep saying, oh, you got to knock the next person out. You got to be more fan friendly, you know. You don't do that. So, yeah, she gets a legit victory. That is how many wins in a row for Natalia Silva? Hold on. Natalia Silva is now, she's still undefeated in the UFC. That is 1, 2, 3. That's 5 in a row. That's Jasmine. That's Teresa Bleda. That's Victoria Leonardo. That's Andrea Lee. And that's Araújo. So, yeah, she's doing what she's supposed to do against certain level of fighters. Like, okay, big, strong, durable people. She's dominating. And the people that we can say don't deserve to be in there with her, pretty much. They don't deserve to be in there with her as far as like skill sets. She's taking them out, right? She's destroying them. And that's what it's supposed to be. Right. So when you look at the persons he's fighting and like, you know what they carry, you shouldn't be getting disappointed. Like that's how I feel. Like I wouldn't get disappointed and say, oh, now she's overrated because she didn't knock Viviana Araújo out. No, I never came in thinking that. But other people, they should never come in thinking that either. Like, oh, she's overrated now because she couldn't knock Viviana Araújo out. Like how? Like when has Araújo been knocked out? Like by certain strikers in the past. Like she's always showed a good chin, you know? Because even me, when I'm gauging the person she's looking at, I'm like, oh, okay, she knocked out Beleda. She's right there. She was right there to be hit. Too fast. Okay, she's got to knock out Leonardo because look how many other people she's knocked out, right? She's knocked out. I mean, look how many other girls have been knocked out. I mean, Erin Blanchfield knocked out Victoria Leonardo, right? So she should knock them out. But when you look at girls like Andrea Lee, okay, definitely give her a pass for that because only time Andrea Lee's been like finished, I believe, was at Sarah DeLejo. What's her name? DeLejo? Yeah, Sarah DeLejo way back, and she got submitted. Ain't been knocked out. Arujo couldn't knock her out. And then Arujo, tough, durable, matched their styles up. You know, it's not going to be right there to be knocked out. You know, Grasso couldn't even knock her out with her boxing style, you know? I mean, Grasso dropped Valentina and rocked Valentina, so she couldn't even knock her out. So, yeah, you know, I think it's a legit win. This moves her on to the next. EQ said, who does she fight next? Well, I think EQ right now with the way the schedules are looking, I think Natalia Silva at number 7 now. All right, she's ranked number 7. That's good. Dang, I expected that, but now that I look at it, wow, okay. So Natalia Silva's number 7. I think the loser of Aaron Manone is a good fight for Natalia Silva, okay? What do you think of that fight, EQ? I think the loser of Aaron Manone is a good fight because the winner, of course, gets the belt, the shot at the belt, a title shot. Okay. And another option would be the winner of Chikagan Barber or the loser. Well, not the loser because the loser will fall down. But yeah, the winner of that fight, the winner of Caitlin and Macy would be a good fight. Or dare I say it, Natalia Silva versus the loser of Shevchenko, Grasso Shevchenko 3. That would be a good fight. All right. If Valentina chooses to stay around, if she loses the rubber match, her and Natalia Silva would be a good fight. Or if Alexa Grasso loses the belt, that would be a good fight for Natalia Silva. So the losers of the highest fights, I believe, would be good for, you know, the title eliminator coming up, title fight, or the winner of Chikagan Barber. You know, that'd be a nice little semi-final type of fight. Be a nice little semi-title fight. Because you imagine that, man. If Grasso did lose to Shevchenko this time around, and then you put her in there with Natalia Silva, people would be saying, "Oh, I need to see that," because they'd be saying, "Oh, Grasso about to lose again," or you might be saying, "Oh, Silva is about to lock in a title shot," or this is going to really prove where Silva's, you know, where her skills really stand. So any of them 3 fights are good to me. Any of them 3 fights are good. All right. Paul, what's up? Paul said Silva versus Marina too. Oh man, I remember that. I remember the first fight. No, we passed that now. You know, no, I'm just Marina got her hands full that 115. So, oh yeah, Paul said I will say Combo was a little concerning how Natalia wasn't able to get out of the clinch or off the cage, but she is becoming one of my favorite fighters. One of my favorites just because she's so fun to watch. I don't think it was really that she wasn't able to get off. I think sometimes she accepted that position to kind of let Arujo wear herself down. And I think that's part of her takedown defense technique where she'll kind of fight at this like little standstill and she's fighting the hands. Like she doesn't want to risk giving up her back because you got to remember, you know, Arujo is a black belt. So I think she's trying her best to like hand fight in them moments. If you go back and look at some of them little grappling exchanges against the cage, or cage wrestling moments, Arujo is really tight on her. So the minute she lets, you know, if she just kind of like goes a little light on her feet in that moment, Arujo could like trip her and take her down. So, I thought she was doing a good job of just kind of biding time and, doing the hand fighting. So if she does get tripped, she can bounce right back up, you know. She don't want to risk giving up her back at times, or, like being too light at that moment and get taken down. Because I think she saw how Andrea Lee got taken down. Do you remember Andrea Lee? When she was against the cage, man, Arujo just scooped her up, slammed her, So I think she was kind of watched some of that. All right. But yeah, okay. So far, we about 4 fights deep. Those are some good fights that were on the flyweight front. But let's look at what we got coming up. So let me see. February 3rd, we had Karolina Stoliarenko, Arujo and Silva. Okay, so we only got one WMMA fight this weekend coming up, okay? BJ said Natalia showed bad cardio. Natalia showed bad cardio too. What, in this fight? You think she showed bad cardio in this fight? I ain't see bad cardio. I never see bad cardio with her. I mean, she got the legs to move, man. Let me see. If Vivi was trying to get her to the ground the whole time, it would be different if Vivi was trying to put damage on her clinch. Right. Yeah, I'll let y'all handle that. BJ over there trolling. BJ just mad because he said Arujo gonna win. She did. I'm just. Oh man, Natalia showed bad cardio. She showed bad cardio. I will say this: cardio was excellent, but she left her chin out a little bit. If you want to critique anything, she got the pullback going on, and that's dangerous. Between her and Manon, since they use their legs a lot, they like to pull back. But to me, pullback is okay in boxing if you got the speed. But in MMA, when you're dealing with kickboxers, all around MMA fighters, to me, the pullback is a no-no. Okay? No. Bad cardio was what Vivi's card. Yeah. EQ said, in my opinion, either Barber, Andrade, or Chikagan. Oh, for Natalia Silva? No, I wouldn't do Andrade. No. I think that would be too easy for Natalia Silva. I think that would be a little bit too easy for her. I mean, it would be exciting, yeah. It would be exciting, yeah. And that'd be one way to get her out of the top 10, right? Put Natalia Silva in there on try. But yeah, each one of those fights, they will bring some excitement. But yeah, Barber would be interesting. Chikagan would be a test of IQ. That'd be a test of IQ, though. All right. Well, let me look down this flyweight calendar here. All right. So February 3rd. Like I said, this weekend we don't have any this weekend we don't have any fights, no flyweight fights. Then we got Bruna Brazil and Loma Labubni. Yeah, Loma Labubni. Chin, what's up? She said Natalia would literally just pick her apart from a distance. Yeah, that's something you can pick out. I think it's legit. Yeah, like just the chin thing. Like pullback is a no-no. Pullback is really a no-no in MMA for me. Like when you can get away with it, I'm like, okay. But it really scares me, man, whenever like sometimes when Manon pull back like that. Well, Manon got caught too by Jennifer Maya. Again, I'm gonna tell you, what I see is what I see. No symptoms over here. I'm a fan of fighters, and I don't want to see them get hurt. No symptoms. It's always real. And I see Manon, she pulled back once and got clipped by Jennifer Maya. And I hope that's something they look out against Aaron Blanchfield. They got to watch out for that because Aaron has a good high kick. Aaron is sneaky with it. I mean, she knocked out Victoria Leonardo with it, and she be drilling that thing. And they run drills on that. They run drills on that in training. So hopefully they look at that. They look at that tape and say, "Ooh, we better not pull back." Same with Natalia Silva. Say if Natalia Silva fights Valentina, don't you dare pull back. Don't you dare pull back. If you do, you're going to be looking up at Bruce Buffer and you're going to be looking up at them lights. You're going to be looking up at Herb Dean trying to wake you up. Right? So, nah, man, don't do that. I mean, y'all quick. Y'all are quick, but pullback is a no freaking no in the sport of MMA. All right? Rose got a high kick. Rose got a perfect head kick. You know, so you're fighting Rose. Any of these girls fighting Rose? No, you don't pull back. You know, things you do, you see in boxing, you can't fully incorporate in MMA. You know, so yeah, I just wanted to throw that part in. I just wanted to throw that part in for a lot of strikers. Like, you know, if any of your trainers are listening, any trainers are listening, or actual fighters listen, don't pull back. Don't pull back. Oh yeah, where was I? Okay. So yeah, no WMMA fights. No, we got one this weekend. No flyweight fights. Next one we got is February 17th. There we go. Okay. February 17th, we've got Andrea Lee versus Miranda Maverick. Let's see. Andrea Lee is number 15. Miranda Maverick is still unranked. They both wanted this fight. That's the thing I do like about Miranda Maverick. Like, she makes call outs. Like, she will make call outs. She will make call outs. Like, she's not one to say, "Oh, I'll let my manager decide for me," or "I'll let the UFC decide for me," or "I'll let Dana White decide for me." Shout out to Miranda. I like to talk to her one more time again at some point. Did an interview with her during the COVID time about 3 years ago now. No, 4 years ago. About 4 years ago. A lot's changed since then. You know? So, yeah, shout out to Miranda. I like her because, you know, she calls people out, wants to stay busy. What more can you ask for? I mean, of course, everybody want a crowd pleasing style, but I think she has crowd pleasing style. But I'm just saying, like, that's one thing people complain about. But to me, I think Miranda has always made it known that she wants to be active and she wants to fight. Because she fought right after she fought Jasmine, she jumped right back in there against Cachoeira. And I know some people said, Cachoeira gonna knock Miranda out. And I was like, sure, watch. Y'all watch this. Miranda gonna submit her. Gotta give her some more credit than that, y'all. Y'all gotta give my girl more credit than that. Like, might not see her in there with certain fighters, might come up short against certain fighters, but come on, gotta give my girl more credit than that. But again, she made a call out. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. This is why I give Miranda a lot of credit too, because low key, she's kind of a boogie woman. She called out 4 people and they didn't want to fight her. You know, she called out 4 people that she said they didn't want to fight her. That's what was taking her so long to get a fight at a point. Of course, you know Jasmine, she'll fight you. That just shows you how tough Jasmine is. Like, Jasmine was not one of the ones that ducked her or didn't want to fight her. She called Macy Barber out for a rematch because I don't think Macy won that fight. She called out Molly McCann, you know, calling out fighters around her level. She called out Molly McCann. Molly went down to 115. Molly McCann ignored her. Didn't want to fight. Macy didn't want a second fight, of course, you know, which was good on her, smart on her part. I don't know who the other 2 fighters were. Maybe, you know, if I ever interview her again, I'll ask her. I'm gonna say who of them 4 fighters that didn't want to fight you. But yeah, they didn't want to fight her, so she calls out Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee says, "Yeah, let's do it." Andrea Lee, got to give her some credit. She's in a position where she got to do it though. Like Andrea Lee is she's kind of on the downside where she's fighting down now. So to me, it makes sense. And Miranda knows it makes sense. She's like, let me get a top 15 fighter. Let me get up in there. So smart move on her. And it's a much needed fight for Andrea Lee. Well, however it comes out will be. But Andrea Lee, man, she got a lot of good skills. They train together too, so I'm sure Miranda's been watching and studying her. She knows what she's able to do, and she's probably like, okay, this girl's good at this and this and this, but I believe that I can do this, this, and this. That's why sometimes like that would be the downside to training with people. Like me and BJ talked about this too, where the downside to training with people is usually when people say, "Oh, I train with this person, that's why I can't fight them." No, to me, the downside is when you say, "Oh, I don't want to fight this person because I train with him." That's the downside. But that's that first downside. But the other point is that that person can know you. That's why I notice a lot of like other girls, like they don't train with other flyweights. Like a lot of the top flyweights, they don't train with other flyweights. So yeah, I think Miranda, she's been studying Andrea Lee, and she knows too that okay, there's certain things I can do in there. But Andrea Lee has some good skills. I think I'm gonna call Brian out on this because I know Brian, like he's more of a fan of Andrea Lee than most people in here. I know he believes, and I believe this too. Brian believes that Andrea Lee has a lot of good tools, but she doesn't use them wisely. Well, that's how I feel, and I think he should feel that way too if he watches her like I have. Like if he's, I study her, and I know he studies her, but he's a fan that studies her, so I know he probably sees that, right? I know he probably sees that in her. That Andrea Lee has a lot of good tools, but she just doesn't use them wisely. That's exactly what I see. She got a long jab, got a nice left hook. She's physically strong, got a good base in jiu-jitsu, good kickboxing, nice hit, nice high kick. A lot of good things, but if you study the resume, she's coming up short because again, she's not fully committed. She's not fully committed in there sometimes. Like, yeah, Ravioli says Andrea Lee just doesn't try hard enough. And I think that's what it is. Like, she's not trying hard enough because, like, okay. Or she's just not exceeding at that right moment. Because, look, she's gone on 2 3-fight L streaks in the UFC. How long has she been in the UFC? Let's see. All right. She jumped into the UFC about 6 years ago, 2018. Won 3 fights. Lost 3 fights. Won 2 fights. And now here we are, lost 3 fights. So she's about 3, 6, 9, 10. She's about 11 fights deep now in the UFC. Okay. She's about 11 fights deep in the UFC. And she is 5-6. Yeah, 5-6. And if you look at who she's lost to and how she's lost, she's definitely not using her skill sets wisely. Like, it's not like, okay, she doesn't have a glass chin, right? She's not getting knocked out constantly. She doesn't have bad takedown defense. Like, she's not getting put on her back consistently and constantly in these 6 losses, right? She's not giving up her back completely where she's getting submitted in all these fights. Like, everything to me is pointing to this not using her skills wisely, because she has the skills to beat these girls that she's come up short against. But that's the thing, like, she's coming up short in every fight because she's letting everybody else do just enough. Like, even when she fought JoJo, that was a close fight. That was a split decision, right? Andrea Lee, could argue, won that fight, but still JoJo did enough. I'd say the only decision here that she really deserved to win was the Lauren Murphy fight. See, I can say that. See, that wasn't very hard. People think I hate Andrea Lee, but I give her that. See, I thought that was a fight she won. You remember, because a lot of people were talking about the judges need to be investigated. I thought she did win against Lauren Murphy, you know? But again, it must have been something, because she could have scored a knockout or a TKO, but she didn't wake up. Then in the rematch, she lost to Roxy. Then she lost to Arujo. I mean, she was losing so bad, her boyfriend started saying racist stuff. Whenever Viviane Arujo was putting that beat down on her, that jump brought the racist out of her boyfriend, boy. Lucky she wasn't fighting Angela Hill or something, man. He would have been dropping N-words all over the place. Man, you know beating is that bad. Whenever you start beating them so bad, that racism start coming out. You ever argue with somebody? You ever argue with somebody and you ever argue with somebody of the opposite race that you are, and when you say something that they just don't like, it ain't even got to be racist to them. You trigger something in them, and they just, that's how you know if a person racist or not. Like, when the situation really get murky, and they just start saying racist stuff. That's how her boyfriend was that night. She would get beat so bad, he started calling her all types of dirty Brazilians and dirty monkey and all. I don't know if he said monkey. I just added that. He didn't say monkey. I just added that part. Dirty monkey, dirty Brazilian, he said. But that's how bad the beating was. Still, it distracted her. I think it really did. That type of energy distracted her. Okay, she lost that fight. But the Macy Barber fight, we can argue that she won that fight, right? So, out of all of these little streaks she's gone on, there's some fights you can argue she win, because some people thought she beat Macy Barber. Because people were fussing about Macy Barber whenever she won a title shot. People were saying, "Oh, you lost to Andrea Lee," So, yeah, like my research, I think, is pretty solid as far as like why she's losing. Like, I just don't see she's like confident sometimes. I think that's what it is. She's just not fully confident. Even when she fought Natalia Silva, like Natalia Silva was kind of giving her some time to fight. He gave her some time to Andrea Lee would go in there, use her long jab. Natalia Silva gave her some moments to win the fight. I mean, it went the distance. Every moment that you're in that fight and you're not laying on your back or you getting rocked, you have a chance to win. There was moments in there she could have won against Natalia Silva. If she just turned it up, started tripping and getting takedowns, she could have won the fight. She could have. So I think it's always her. Like, it's not necessarily like her opponent doing anything spectacular. I think it's always her. Let me ask Brian again, because I'm gonna put Brian on the spot again. Like, what do you think of that answer about Andrea Lee? Since you're Andrea Lee fan, Brian, I'm gonna ask you some. I wanna, straight yes or no. Like, I don't necessarily think it's her opponents always beating her. I think that Andrea Lee is beating herself. I think it's her beating herself. Because everybody she's fought, I think she has the skills to adjust and win. See, again, I'm being honest. I'm being honest again. I think she has the skills to beat everybody she's fought. But I think Andrea Lee has the skills to beat everybody. I think she just beats herself. Because you're your worst enemy in there. You really are your worst enemy, and that's just what it is. Yeah, I do. I think that's what it is. Now, when you look at Miranda Maverick, I think Miranda Maverick, really with her, I think she has been picking up on the things she's been, needing in her fights, like even her striking, being a little bit more confident. Um, Her slickness, her head movement is starting to fall into place a little bit more. But when you look at her resume, I think really her kryptonite was just like the wrong approach against bigger fighters. And that lack of like striking IQ at the time is what kind of cost her. Like, she hadn't lost like this great deal of fights. All she lost to was Jasmine and Aaron. So when you look at what Miranda was dealing with, I think Miranda was just in there with bigger, stronger fighters. So when she was in there with more of a grappling attitude, a grappling approach, there was no way she was going to win it like that. I just think that's what it was. Let's see. Chen said Lee was very close to TKO and Arujo, but just couldn't keep the fight on the feet. Yeah. Brian said the only difference is that I'm a fan and you aren't necessarily a fan, but we agree on how we assess. Pretty much. Rabio said Lee's left hook was this close to to KO and Arujo. Yeah, it was. It was. It really was. And that's why I think in this fight here, it's going to come down to who's learned from their mistakes in their fight, and to me, who is more confident in what they do. I think that's Miranda. I think Miranda is more confident in what she's doing. And when she gets going, she doesn't stop trying. Right. Even when she fought Aaron Blanchfield, she was just completely outgunned in that fight. And it wasn't like she stopped trying, Aaron stopped. Aaron stopped her. That's the difference. Like Miranda doesn't really break in fights. I think Andrea Lee has, and that's what makes me feel like, okay, if she does that again and she shows up that same way, she could wind up losing this fight. So I kind of lean more towards Miranda in this one because I think Miranda's more solid mentally here. I think she's a little bit more solid mentally, and I think she listens. She's got a corner that gives her, they give her advice right there, and she listens. She listens to her corner, and it works. It falls into place. So I got to give the person that's a little bit smarter, learns more, and just has a better record of showing that. The resumes are there. Just have to check your resumes on how they lost and why they lost. It's there. So yeah, I would pick her. I would pick her. That's the next. That's not this weekend. That's next weekend. But that should be a good fight. That is the 298 card. Also on there is Lamos Dern. Lamos Dern. Lamos and Dern is on that card. We ain't gonna talk about that right now, but Dern, what you doing? What you doing, Dern? Marcus Bell said Andrea Lee did dismantle Cynthia Calvillo, but Cynthia Calvillo's hands aren't that good. Right. Like that fight, she dismantled her. Yeah. Yeah, like I think Calvillo has okay hand speed in her boxing is okay, like against certain fighters, but her boxing is not going to get, it's not going to get Andrea Lee's respect, and it's not going to get Andrade's respect. I mean, the proof is in the pudding right there, right? So I think she kind of fell into that boxing mode. Like I think Calvillo's wrestling is her big part. That's her thing, But somewhere along the line, she kind of got sold into being more of a boxer. I don't want to go too far on that, man. Lamos Dern. No. Let me stop. All right. So February 17th, that is Lee Maverick. All right. I don't see any other flyweight fights on this schedule. Oh, okay. March 9th. Did I miss anything in between there? March 17th and March 9th? Because I'm gonna jump to March 9th now. All right. March 9th. March 9th, we've got 2 flyweight fights. And the first one of prelims. Yeah. Got my girl JoJo coming back. Got Joe and Wood, or as I call it, just JoJo Calderwood, We got JoJo Wood versus Marina Moreau 2. That's the rematch. For some of y'all newcomers, all right, this is actually a rematch. And this in the first fight upset me so bad, man, because you know that was like prime JoJo at the time. The first fight, oh man, that upset me so bad, man, because that was this. Well, first off, a little history behind this one. This was right after the Tough House and JoJo got signed. Because you know, in the Tough House, JoJo, she lost to Rose. Everybody thought it was going to be between Carla Esparza and JoJo. They were seen as like the top level fighters. Then Rose came out of nowhere submitting everybody. Then it became Rose. But yeah, JoJo, yeah, she still got a contract to the UFC. And yeah, this was her second fight in the UFC. Second fight in the UFC. First fight, she fought Sohei Ham and won. And the second fight, she got submitted in the first round by Marina Moreau. And I was crushed. That was like 9 years ago. I don't know if that many people in here were following WMMA back then. Maybe some of y'all were. Yeah, some of y'all aren't that young, right? Some of y'all were following it back then, right? But yeah, man, that was a crusher, man. That was a crusher back then. But since then, you know, JoJo, she's been getting a lot of fights in the UFC still. You know, she still got a lot of fights, but she just never really like got to that level. She just never got to that level. Like the evolution kind of passed her by, you know what I mean? Like she was really good with her striking and Muay Thai in them days, man, but there was just never like a level of submission defense with her back then. I don't think a lot of girls really had it like that or had it in their mind like they do now. And that's kind of what kept her back, you know? So she just kept going down, down, down. Messed up her title shot too, man. Oh man, even that Jennifer Maia fight, I was like, dang, man, that was probably her only title shot. And it's just been downhill from there, man. And now she coming back after how long of a layoff? Last person she beat was Lana Carolina. It's about a year. About a year layoff. Before that, she got destroyed by Grasso and Tyler Santos. And lost to Lauren Murphy. Dang. So it's been hard, man. Like watching her going against the girls at Flyweight, man, it's just been awful, man. Like, especially, you know, look, JoJo is like the one fighter I've been a huge fan of in here. Like, you know, I'm gonna come to the defense of JoJo when y'all talking trash, man, because that was like one of the first fighters I watched for WMMA. Todd Johnson, what's up, man? But since then, I mean, you know, Marina Moreau, she actually had surprisingly, Marina Moreau hasn't really like Marina Moreau's got some good skills too. Like, she hasn't really she never really like rose to the top either. You know? Marina Moreau, the difference with JoJo and Marina Moreau, though, Marina Moreau, like Andrea Lee, is her own worst enemy. You know, she had a few injuries, very inactive. She pulled out of multiple fights. That's been her downfall. So both of them have like their own downfalls, but I think where JoJo's was a lack of like improvements, Marina Moreau, hers was like a lack of activity, big time. Like Marina Moreau probably could have done skyrocketed up, got a title shot by now, and that'd have been it. You know, like even when she was at 115, you know, she came up short against Carla Esparza, I remember, and she lost to Angela Hill. So that kind of killed her momentum. No, I think she lost to like Valerie Letourneau or somebody. Yeah, Valerie Letourneau. And that kind of killed her momentum to fight Wmma, right? But then when she went to 125, you know, she was ghost. I mean, post the fight, Tyler Santos pulls out of that fight. Post the fight, Luana Carolina, she pulls out of that fight. Post the fight, Manon pulls out of that fight. Post the fight, Montana. Post the fight, Sarge. I believe she had like 8 or 9 like cancellations. So she's kind of been her own downfall. She's been her own downfall. But when she fights, you see some good levels of skills in there. Like you see a nice level of skill. You know, I like I like the skills that she has. I like the skills that Moreau has. She's definitely I say well rounded. Um, First time she been submitted was against Karine Silva. I mean, before that, she came back and beat Agapova, but she did lose to Jennifer Maya. So she's lost 2 in a row. So beating Agapova for her, I mean, it's like she knows her. She's pretty much more so well rounded. But yeah, she's on a 2-fight losing streak now. So yeah, I would see why they would give her to JoJo. This is supposedly JoJo's last fight. Because JoJo had posted on her IG and said, I think this was it for her. Like one more and that was it. Right. So, JoJo probably said, I want to go out trying to get some get back. Will she get it? I don't know. It's hard to say. She's been out for like a year. And like I said, her jiu-jitsu hadn't been the best throughout her career. I don't know. I want to see her win. I want to see her get a victory and go out, with a W. I don't want to see her go out and go in there and get killed against the girl that she lost, that handed her first loss. Like, it would be nice to see her at least right that wrong. And that's crazy. Like, they probably set it up that way for her. If this is her last fight, they said, how would you like to fight the girl that handed you your first loss to end this thing? And that'd be kind of bittersweet for her. Missed out on the title shot, missed out on certain opportunities, but if she could win against Marina Moreau, that would be something. But Marina Moreau's just well rounded, man. Even her jiu-jitsu on the ground. So, I'm hoping JoJo can pull it out though. Because on the feet, JoJo is scrappy. Like, I will give her that. JoJo is a dog. She is a dog. Like, she will give and she will take. Sometimes I get a little worried when she takes a little too much. But yeah, I hope JoJo can pull something out in this one, man. End it right. BJ actually got JoJo in this fight. I'm gonna go for JoJo, man. I go for her. I want her to end her career. I want her to see her go out with at least 2 W's in a row. All right. But this is the fight on the card we all looking forward to, right? Also on the card for March 9th, Caitlin Chikagian and Macy Barber. All right. This one here has the potential to be the next person not the next person in line, but they're after that next person. This one here has the potential to be the second person in line to get a title shot, right? This would be the second person after Manon and Aaron. Whoever wins Aaron Manon, they get the title shot. And who gets in line behind them? Caitlin Chikagian and Macy Barber. All right. I know some people are going to say, oh, I don't want to see Chikagian get a belt. I don't want to see her get another title shot. Come on, it's been years now. Get a girl a chance. Like, I don't care. Like, if Chikagian does beat Macy Barber and gets a title shot, I'm fine with that. Because I think for Caitlin Chikagian, she's already at a point now where, she's fought everybody and she might want to go out with one more big paycheck. So good business move for her for taking this fight. Good business move for Chikagian. This fight could mean I could win. I could go in there and get another title shot if I win. So if she does, hey. But the other side now, we want to see Macy Barber get this thing going, right? She got 5 in a row. We want to see some new blood. We want to see some new things happen. She is in my quadruple threat. She gets this shot and she takes it and runs with it and she dominates. I think she'll get a shot. Like, yeah, that's it. She'll get her shot for sure. Because she'll be on that 6-fight win streak. Like, Aaron Manon. Behind her is Natalia at 5-0. So I think at that point she's done enough, even though some of the fights were close. Some of the fights were close, but um, getting that many victories in a row should lock her in for a title shot after the big one in March 30th. So let me see. Looking at these two though, man, Chikagan's been training now. I've been watching her on IG, and Caitlin has been. She's taking this fight seriously. I can say that. Like, not saying she doesn't take every fight seriously, but you can see that she's coming to fight. I mean, a little bit of everything. I seen her, drilling, boxing, putting them combinations together. She working on the ground game. She working on stuff and some takedowns here and there. This ain't gonna be an easy fight. This is not gonna be an easy fight for Macy Barber at all. But that's what we've been wanting to see. We've been wanting to see Macy Barber against a higher level fighter now. She's been hanging out in the trenches, fighting these other fighters. So now, with 5 wins in a row, let's see what she can do with a former title challenger, right? Let's see what she can do against this former title challenger. And she's made some nice improvements in her style. I think, Macy Barber's definitely gotten to be more physical. I think, with her team, they've kind of taught her to be a little bit more physical, to use her size and don't just hold. She's got a good, strategy using her elbows and, elbows and like her head control and all of that. Like, she's really been turning into that type of fighter. So I think, with her physicality, she could play a big part in this fight if she can close distance. Like, Chikagan's going to be putting hands in her face. Like, that's the thing. Like, sometimes when Macy's kind of sitting back, her opponents, they can build a lead. And I believe Chikagan, she could do that if Macy Barber is just sitting back. If she's sitting back where like Miranda Maverick was able to win, Chikagan, she can turn it up there and win. Matter of fact, they're training together. I think, Chikagan and Miranda, and they were all training together, her, Rocky Pennington, and all of them. So I think, Chikagan's trying to really get some inside info here. That's what I'm saying. Like, she's going to be dangerous. She's going to be dangerous for, not dangerous, like knockout dangerous, but she could be the threat to stopping Macy Barber's title shot, so Macy's got to be ready to not play the shadow boxing game. Don't shadow box. Don't strike on the outside with Chikagan. You can't do that. I don't think she'll be able to do that. It's always got to be an inside game with Chikagan for everybody in the division, except for Manon, because Manon was the only one that did beat her at her own game. But everybody else, no, you got to be on the inside fighting her, man. Chikagan could use her footwork, but Ravioli, Chikagan could actually take her down. Chikagan, she's the black belt too now. She's the black belt. We all know Macy, her weakness is being put on her back. So if Chikagan takes command of the center, she could take Macy Barber down, put her on her back, win some rounds that way. Not too many people take Jennifer Maia down and keep her down for a little bit. I think Chikagan was able to do that in their first fight with Jennifer Maia. So yeah, like Chikagan has that ability to outstrike her, but she could take her down. So let's see what Macy Barber's going to do as far as stuffing her takedowns. Right? Yeah, this would be a good fight, though. This one is going to be good. I think, inside fight, it would be Barber if she takes a page out of Andrade's book. But, Chikagan's footwork could upset this one. Better for the division as far as like the growth would be Macy Barber, no doubt, because you want a new look. Somebody that has some excitement behind them when it comes to their style. So yeah, I think that would be more ideal for even the fans. BJ says it's about timing with Macy in the stand up in this one. Yeah, it's got to be timing with her because she ain't gonna match her like volume or speed wise. Barber, Her inside fight game versus Chikagan's footwork. Yeah. But again, yeah, if you put her down on her back, might be interested. It could be an interest in there. I think when it comes to like physical strength, though, I think Macy Barber would kind of own that more. That's why, Chikagan would want to watch out for that. But putting her flat on her back, I can see Chikagan doing that a couple of times, Yeah, don't fight at a distance for Macy Barber. Don't even try it. Yeah, pressure. Got to be smart pressure. All right. So that's March 9th. That's all going down March 9th. Let me start moving a little bit faster. March 23rd. Where is it? March 23rd, we got this fight. Amanda Ibas and Rose Namajunas. This is actually a main event, right? Yeah, it's actually going to be a main event, this fight. Basically, with this fight, I mean, it's a good fight to get her ranked. Amanda Ibas is number 8 right now. And I think I told y'all, I think, Rose, ideally, she would have needed an opponent like this. Rose needed somebody like this. Not somebody next in line for a title shot. Not somebody that's that huge. There was no way she needed to be in there with that type of an opponent first time around in a Manon. Like, she needed to grow into the division, and this is like where she needs to be. Somebody that is also moving up and down in weight. So I think ideally, like this fight here, it could be kind of goes back and forth with me a little bit with this one, but I think I would pick Rose because Rose is her accuracy. But again, I just kind of need to see what her speed looks like at this weight. Like, will she come in a little bit more muscular this time? Well, not as soft. Like, will she be a little bit more lighter on her feet? That's going to be a big part against somebody like Ibas, because Ibas is going to bring the dog. You can't tell Ibas anything different, man. Like, Ibas is a dog, man. Like, you got to stop Ibas. You got to stop Ibas from coming. Like, you got to literally knock her out. Or at least try to put her down a couple of times. Ask Marina Rodriguez, ask Macy Barber, because Macy Barber has some blood, drawn from her. Her little nose was bleeding when she fought Ibas too. So yeah, Ibas is going to draw some blood. Like, the more I think about this fight, like, Ibas might draw some blood. Ibas might draw some blood on Rose. Rose, like, sometimes she don't fully move her head a lot. She will use her footwork to get out of danger, but upstairs, you can still hit Rose. Like, you can still hit her upstairs. You can still catch her upstairs. So she has that ability to do that. But yeah, I would look more at the accuracy and the better striking in Rose in this fight. But to me, yeah, this is where she needs to be. Like, this is a good fight for Rose. Main event, I'm not really so sure. Main event, I'm really not so sure. Like, I don't really think this needs to be a 5-round fight. I prefer it to be like a 3-round fight. But, good on Ibas. It's exposure for her. This is her first main event too, I believe, right? Because I think Marina Rodriguez, she's had a bunch of main events. Mackenzie Dern's had more main events than, because I don't think Ibas has had a main event yet. That's crazy too, because Ibas, here she done beat Mackenzie Dern, and they don't even give her a main event. Wow. Paul said, I'm going to go with Rose. He says, tough. Ibas gets more dangerous as the fight goes on if you don't get her out of there. Yeah, Robot, you got to stop her. Macy was leaking. Yeah. I'm not a Rose fan, but if you think she... Wait, but if you think... You said, I'm not a Rose fan, but if you think she's in there unprepared... Oh, you can't underestimate her, basically? Yeah, you can't underestimate Rose. Like, you can't come in there unprepared against Rose, no doubt. I don't know, jiu-jitsu wise too, like, it could be interesting, man, on the ground. That's the part I'm kind of curious about. Like, if Ibas gets Rose down, or if Rose decides to take her down, like, who's gonna be in full control there? I don't know. It is a good fight though. Like main event, fine. I don't care. I don't care. It gives us 5 more rounds. It gives us 2 more rounds to watch some, action. So I don't care. Like I think it was just 3-round fight, but I can't complain about a 5-round fight with these two. Somebody's gonna be bleeding. Both might be bleeding. You know, I can see blood in this fight. I can definitely see blood in this one, man. And that's March 23rd. All right. Uh-oh. A week after that. Let's see. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we are. Week after the 23rd, March 30th, we've got bam. I don't know. Is this a main event though? Somebody said it could be the other fight was a placeholder and this could still be the main event. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. This is another UFC Fight Night card that's I'm looking forward to. This main event, whatever you want to call it, is on here. Atlantic City, Aaron Blanchfield, Manon Fiorot. Let's lock it in. It's a title eliminator. It is a title eliminator. In my opinion, again, if Rose Ibas is a main event, this should be a main event. Is it a main event now? Let's double check. Let's go ahead and double check this thing. Both wanted a main event. Oh yeah, it's a main event. No, yeah, it is. It is a main event. They moved it up. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. They don't know what they're doing though, because hold on, okay. They still got it listed as a co-main, even though they took the other main event off. But yeah, it's the main event now. There you go. There you go. All right, so we're gonna call it a main event now. Just so if the UFC hears anything, they know that we want this as the main event. So yeah, Aaron Manon deserves to be a main event. There's a lot riding on this one. Both undefeated in the UFC. Both want to get this belt. Both are dangerous to me, to Grasso and Shevchenko, So seeing these two have to go at it right now, man, is like kind of scary, especially, when I pick these two to make it to the top. I'm like, having to see them fight now, I kind of wanted to see one of them get the belt first. Like, that's the only complaint I have that's the only gripe I have about this fight. Like, I wanted to see this to be like a title fight or a title defense for one of them. Like, if Aaron had won the belt, I wanted to see her defend against Manon or vice versa, But it's happening now. It's going to be a tough fight because you got one again, Aaron, she's had to stare Aaron's had to stare hell in the face 2 times. You know what I mean? Like, definitely not saying Manon hasn't fought good fighters, which she has, but Aaron, being young, and see, again, I'm telling the truth. Like, I just have to call it like it is. Like, Aaron had to stare hell in the face 2 times, man. Like, from fighting unranked fighters, they made her fight Andrade, and then she had to go back and fight the person that pulled out originally, in Tyler Santos. Okay. And each time, man, like, she stared him in the face, man. She was like, I ain't backing down. Like, some people, like, they show a lot of respect, but I mean, like, Aaron shows respect, but she's gonna let you know that I'm not going anywhere. And once again, she's gonna have to stare hell in the face again, man. Another big, strong flyweight. Will it turn out like the other two? Style-wise, I think it's gonna be different because she's gonna be dealing with, I think, a smarter fighter, somebody that uses more movement, somebody that's also strong, somebody that's working on whatever I think she's going to be bringing to the table. So I think Aaron's going to have her hands full in this fight, but so is Manon. Manon's going to have her hands full in this one too, because again, Erin just got that look in her eyes where it's like, I ain't backing down. Like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm here to fight. And when she fought Tyler, you know, I didn't pick, but if anybody would have asked me at the time, I still wouldn't have picked. I still wouldn't have picked. I still would. I started to pick. I said Tyler originally, but then I said no, scratch that. I am not picking in this one. This one's about to get crazy. And yeah, Erin, she did not disappoint me. When she won the fight, I wasn't mad at all. I was like, okay, all right, cool. She knocked out Andrade. I was like, okay, yeah, there we go. Y'all look at what this girl is doing, So yeah, I like Erin. I like her for all those reasons, man. That she's just tough, uh, young but smart, high IQ, very high IQ. Does what she needs to do in every fight, and I definitely give her a lot of credit. Take my hat off. Definitely one of my favorite fighters now. Manon, I think Manon, she's a higher IQ fighter than some of the ones that Erin's fought. I think that sometimes she's like Natalia Silva. She depends more on IQ. She depends a little bit more on smarts, and that's good. That's good. But sometimes you want that dog tested. I'm definitely not saying she's not a dog, but I'm just saying like Erin's had to do 2 dog fights in a row, 2 dog opponents in a row. Where Manon, she's fought more of the intellectual kind of fighters, which could definitely pull out the victory for her here. Because when it gets deep, she knows how to move. She knows how to adjust. She knows how to take a round. She knows how to pace a fight out. So yeah, on that side, Manon has size, strength on her side, but she also has intelligence. So I think it's going to be a harder fight for Erin to push as far as like she did last time around. Sometimes Tyler, she'll get into that groove. Tyler will get into that groove of whatever her opponent's bringing. She shows a little bit too much respect. Andrade, of course, she's all dog. Like she's tough, and if you have a good jab, you can get her out of there. But this is something Erin's never seen before. Manon's never seen this before. Not picking right now. Oh man. Will I pick in this one? Should I pick it? I might have to pick in this one because I think somebody told me I have to. I mean, I can do whatever I want. I'm just saying, but BJ, was it this fight? I think BJ said I need to pick in this one. Or was it no, it's the next fight I'm going to talk about. It's the next fight I'm going to talk about. Yeah, it's the next one. But man, this one's really striker versus grappler here, and I think whoever, I say this a lot about fights, but I think with this one, it's going to be about, whoever gets into their realm here. It's about whoever gets into their realm here, on the ground. Erin is a beast. Erin is the legend with her BJJ. But strength and the improving wrestling of Manon could be a problem. So, man, we ain't even going to try to pick here. We just discussing the fight right now. We are just discussing the fight. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, since this is a 5-round fight, it's definitely going to be a different like texture. I think Manon's gone the distance more, of course. So to me, I would favor Manon as far as 5 rounds. Yeah, I would favor Manon more in 5-round fights. But, 5-round fight. I think she's gone the distance more. She's had to adjust in like later rounds because when she doesn't get that stoppage, she's gonna try to keep that lead and stay safe, right? And I'm just looking at cardio too. Like she's the runner, she's the cyclist here. So I think she has it. But Erin's definitely not going to. Let me put it this way. Look, I think Manon could win in a decision more so because you know how she moves, but that doesn't mean she has bad cardio. That doesn't mean she has bad cardio. Yeah, don't okay, look, everybody think I'm saying I did not say Aaron has bad cardio at all, okay? Aaron does not have bad cardio by what I'm saying, okay? I'm talking about style-wise here. They both have solid cardio, okay? Because with Aaron's ability to wrestle, her cardio's up there, and she's young, okay. But as far as like the style movement, the one that's going to be striking and moving as the point fighter, to me, I would say that would be Manon because that's what you have to be a point fighter, right? That's what I think. You know that's what I think. Now, when it comes to like a physical fight, inside fight, if it's going to be like 5 rounds of what she was doing to Tyler, then you would have to favor Aaron because that's where her momentum is going to be, right? That's where she wants to be, and that's how That's how she's fighting in some of her later fights. But if it's going to be moving, if it's going to be movement, I got to go with Manon on that. Brian said, speaking of heart. No, definitely not. No, I don't. Not definitely not. Like you got to look at it in perspectives. Like, see, you just said what I said. You just took what I said. Like, if you're on the cage, 5 rounds would favor her. That type of cardio. Because again, I'm not saying her cardio is bad. I'm thinking that movement from the outside and the person with the better legs, that's the person, that's the style that's going to be able to last longer in 5 rounds. Okay. And then you got to factor in getting hit in the face too. You got to factor getting hit in the face. Like Tyler was hitting Aaron with some hard punches, right? But she saw a lot of that coming. But if Aaron is getting hit by shots that's coming at a different angle, that's going to take more out of you. Okay. Because I like both of these fighters. Like I said, to me, it's a win-win. Whoever wins, it's a win-win with whoever is able to pull out the victory in this one. Okay. So no heart at all on this one. No heart at all. I'm just going by styles and what I'm watching. Again, we all have our opinion. We all have our takes, you know. Just like I pick with everybody else, I'm gonna speak some truth. See, the minute I give Manon credit, y'all gonna try to say, "Oh, I'm on her side," but like, no, it's not like that. Or if I talk bad about Casey O'Neill, it's, "Oh, I hate Casey O'Neill." No, like I'm giving you what I think. Okay, that's just what it is. Like, yeah. BJ said Aaron striking is very sneaky. Yeah, like even that, like I was one of the first ones to say Aaron striking was solid. Like a lot of people saying it's not good, but it's good. It doesn't look good to people, but to me, it looks good. Yeah, her striking, again, just a few segments back. I'm telling you, what did I just tell you? No pullbacks, right? So yeah, like it's gonna be a good fight though. That's why we talking about this thing, or that's why you feel like, oh no, it's going this way. No, it's going this way. And that's the ingredients for a fight that's gonna be good. Okay. And I just can't wait to call that one March 30th at this point. But I'll give you a pick. I'll give you a pick when we get down there. Fight is next month. I still got time. Okay. Ravioli said that's true. Manon is a completely different striker than Tyler. Yeah, she is. She's completely different. Like you would have thought Tyler Santos was gonna knock Aaron out. And no way did I ever say that. But some people thought Tyler was gonna knock Aaron out. But the shots you see coming don't hurt as much. You can brace yourself for them. Aaron saw them shots coming, but the ones you don't see, you don't even have to hit that hard. Okay. If you hit the person in the right place, you can knock them off balance. You can knock them down. They'll get back up. Maybe. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like there's going to be moments in this fight where if Manon is on her game and those angles come into play, she gets hits with the right shots. She might tire out. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Mm. But I'm really looking forward to this fight. I'm actually looking forward to this more than I am Wei Li Yan Xiaonan. Yo, is on Wei Li versus Yan Xiaonan? I'm gonna watch it. I like it. But this one here is gonna be the fight. I'm watching here. Yeah, BJ. Aaron's reach is deceptively long, and her straight shots thud. I'm telling you, man, they thud, man. Like sh- they're they square up on you. Her shots square up on you. They hit you right there in the chin. I mean, she's putting every bit of that brick in your face. But let's see. It's a month and a half away. Yeah, a month and a half away, something like that. I'm ready. I'm ready. Looking at resumes. Aaron hasn't seen anybody like Manon. Manon hasn't seen anybody like Aaron. And yes, Gabby, I'm glad you said that. Right when I said that, both will test each other. That's what it is. Neither fighter has seen anything or the opponent that's standing across from. Aaron's looking at a fighter that's not Tyler or Andrade. Manon is not a wild swinging one-dimensional puncher, and she's not gonna gas, and she's not gonna let you press her to the cage. Okay, she's not gonna let her press her to the cage like that. So she's not Tyler, she's not Andrade, she's not Miranda. They haven't seen that before. For Manon, she's not Jennifer Maya, she's not Chikagan, you know, she's not Myra Buena Silva. She will bite back. She's gonna bite back. So yeah, this is gonna be a good fight, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, that's March 30th. Let me see. I think I went down all the fights now. I drew it out a little bit longer just so I could be on here. Ravioli said, who is stronger in the clinch? I think Aaron is a little bit more proven in the clinch. Physically stronger, I would say Manon. I know proven as far as like technique and being able to hold you there. But from what I've seen, like Manon do, like with Jennifer Maya, what she could have done with Rose at the time, Myra Buena Silva, I would say she's stronger, but proven, proven as far as like technique and being able to win that way. Like I say, stronger as far as keeping her off. You know what I mean? Like I think Manon is strong as far as like keeping fighters off of them. But if you're talking about like strong as far as staying in there and being effective, that would probably be Aaron then. And I'm just looking at it again, like different ways to see it. Like some people build up strength in the clinch to be able to control and push off, like Natalia Silva will control to, neutralize. Some have the strength like Macy Barber to stay in there and work. Different type of clinch situations. That's what I'm looking at. I think both of them have their effective ways because, you see Manon fight big fighters before too. Who was that? Leah McCourt, fought in bantamweight. Some of the other girls she had fought in her career, big fighters. But I think, yeah, technically, I think Aaron is a little bit more uh, polished as far as in on the inside, and she knows she's got to be polished in there, and I think they're really working on that. All right, all right. So, all right, March 30th main event. It's good news to know that's a main event. Good news to know that is a main event now. Okay, and month later, a month later, we got this April 27th. April 27th. That'll be, is that six? Wait a minute. Or is that 4 or 5? That's like a 5-month turnaround. No, it's a 5-month turnaround, right? Let's see. January, February, March, April. That's 4 months, right? for Ariane Lipsky. Okay, yeah. Let's talk about this one here. Got to talk about this one here. Karine Silva and Ariane Lipsky. I thought this was the fight I was talking with BJ about that I wasn't going to pick in. um, yeah, this one just got a little bit more interesting, a little bit more on the even playing field now. Because originally, Karine was going to fight Lauren Murphy. And I just felt like style wise, I think Karine is going to do it, especially now that, Lauren's not in the fight. I don't know if like they felt like they had to pull out of that. They didn't want to be a stepping stone or what. Maybe she had other things going on. I don't know. Because I know Lauren Murphy's not injured. I don't know what the situation is. Don't ask me, y'all. I don't know. Somebody let me know. But I just kind of find it strange that they didn't want that fight after it was already announced. So, Karine is now going to fight somebody that is just as just as hungry, possibly just as dangerous right now, style wise, and Ariane Lipsky. Ariane Lipsky, you catching the Ariane Lipsky that's in her, she's kind of going through her transformation right now. You know what I mean? Like a little bit mentally, a little bit technically. So Karine's gonna have a good fight here. But Lipsky dealing with Karine Silva, who, okay, you might see some of the losses she had early in her career, but don't think Karine like this slouch. Karine has finish on her mind. I mean, she's the only girl in the flyweight division. No, wait, she's the only fighter in WMMA in the UFC WMMA landscape period that has 100% finish rate, right? Let me double check here. Hold on. Who else has 100% finish? Wait a minute now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope. Not even her. I was thinking of Eduardo Mora. Nope. She's got 9 out of 10. She's finished 9 out of 10. Whereas Karine Silva, everybody, that right there is to scare you alone. That's enough to scare you alone right there. Karine Silva is no joke, man. This girl's serious. In every level she steps up, she bringing the same killer instinct. So with that being said, I think that it's, even though Lauren Murphy was a higher ranked fighter, I think now you're dealing with more of like a ground level fighter here, because both of them, I think, have that same level of hunger here. But I think, killer instinct wise, that's Karine Silva. So you're going to see Karine's takedowns tested here. See if she can get by the takedown defense, which I think is going to be better for her. Because, Lauren Murphy, strong, very strong. But to beat her, I think you have to have physical strength to really like handle Lauren Murphy. Like in the past, like the girls that beat her, they have to be just as strong. And I think Karine probably was going to be. But the technique about staying on your feet against Karine Silva requires like an offense. And I think Lipsky has good balance plus knees to the body. And that's what's going to be more of a test than just that average strength and wrestling from like a Lauren Murphy at this point. And I'm just saying, man, I'm being real, because like I know Lauren Murphy's ranked higher. She's been an Invicta champion. She's fought better fighters than Lipsky, but there's like a level of evolution right now. There's like a level of evolving where certain fighters at the top don't necessarily change as much. Like Lipsky, she's more changing down at the bottom, where I think with somebody next to her like Karine Silva, who's never seen that takedown defense before, could be more of a problem. Okay? If that makes sense, what I just said. But I think Lipsky's going to be more of a problem in those ways. Like that's going to be hard for her to get by. That's really going to be hard for her to get by, that takedown defense. But when she gets by her and she gets her down, that's where it falls into her game. That's where it falls into Karine Silva's game right there. Okay. But Lipsky got that power, man. Lipsky's got that power, and she's got that accuracy. So that right hand, man, when that right hand lands, we're going to see how Karine Silva's chin reacts to it. Like, is she going to be respectful like Gatto? We'll see. But Karine Silva's got the striking too, man. I mean, she put Marina Moreau on her butt. So, hey, what's it going to be? We'll see. Ravioli said they both have power. Hey, they got power, man. They both got power, So, I'm looking forward to this one. Let me see. April 27th. Yes, sir. All right, hold on. Let's pull this up here. Make sure that was the last fight. Okay. All right, there we go. I'm looking at these resumes too, man. Like, I know Lipsky's fought more UFC fighters, but there's just like a level with Karine Silva. She's just not missing right now. Like, there's something about her where she's just been hitting. Like, she's just been hitting it on the nose. Ain't even got to be like, she's treating everybody the same, right? She's beating everybody because she's just beating everybody she comes across. She's treating them the same. She's got the same killer instinct. Like, no overly respecting her opponents, no caution. She throwing caution to the wind, and she getting the victory the way she knows how. And that finishing rate, man, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. You just can't deny it right now. Oh boy. But April 27th is going to be a good fight. In a way, I would have liked the Lauren Murphy fight because it was a high ranked opponent, and then we'd have another dangerous fighter in the mix. Because let's see, Lauren Murphy is ranked. She was ranked like number 5 or 6. She ain't in there now. Somewhere around there. She was like between 5 and 8, I believe. And if Lauren Murphy and Karine fought and Karine won, her, Natalia Silva, Macy Barber, all of them would have been in there now, Chikagan and Andrade would be like the only ones still hanging on, but that would have been good for the division, right? All right. But that's all of the fights that are scheduled. The only one not scheduled right now is this fight, yo. This is the only one left that ain't got scheduled. It's the only fight they ain't got scheduled yet. And we know it's going to happen. Maybe it's going to happen in May or June since all the other cards are filled. But it's got to go ahead and take place now just so we can get this one out the way. Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. Oh, man. The rubber match. Are they going to go ahead and do this thing? Let's see. They 1-0-1 right now. And I think that both fighters look healed up to me. Valentina's hand looked fine to me. Grasso's hand looked fine to me, So they should be on the same turnaround time. To me, at this point, we all know, man. We all know what it is. Like, come on, let's go ahead and get this thing over with. Style-wise, we already know what they're bringing to the table. It just matters on what are they going to do, okay? Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do different at this point? I don't know. I just want to see this fight get done so we can go ahead and see Grasso or Valentina fight the winner of Aaron Manone. Now, if Grasso was to win, I keep thinking to myself, like, will she go at least like on a 3-fight defense? Like, I don't think she'd be like dominant, but I'm kind of curious as to see how far she could go with it because this division is tough. But if Valentina gets the belt back, Valentina gets the belt back, like, what's going to be different with her? Like, would she be ready to take on the new crop? Might be the Macy Barber, maybe. But the rest of the fighters, it's hard to say. Like, What's been taken out of Valentina since the last time they fought? You know, what's been taken out of her? Like, what's different about her? I don't know. You know. So yeah, this one, I hope they just go ahead and schedule it. Let's get it over with, and we can move on. But that's all the fights, man. That's all of them. Let me see. Hold on. Let me make sure that was it. So from February 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you have 9 fights since this past weekend. And then I threw in them last 2. That last one didn't even turn out to be a featherweight fight. Or excuse me, flyweight fight. Flyweight fight. That was 10. Jasmine and Priscilla. That would have made 10. So that's why Gatto is matched up with Dudakova. Everybody's already taken. Robot Chicken said Gatto versus Dudakova. Yeah, that just, sprung up. But yeah, Gatto versus Dudakova. I mean, there was somebody else out there for her, man. Like, why they gonna give her a straw weight? Like, Dudakova, hold on. Has Dudakova even fought at flyweight at any point in her career? But yeah, let's look at that one just for a little bit. Hold on. Let me go ahead and throw that on here. 1 second. All right, hold on. I'm getting hungry, y'all. Hold on. Let me Oh yeah, her and Sarge fought. I forgot. Yeah, March 30th. Yeah, this one's on the Aaron Manone card. Hold on. Yeah, this is on the Aaron Manone card now. Melissa Gatto and Dudakova. They got it down as an opener. So yeah, this one's going down. Yeah, definitely at 125. But I think it's just kind of weird. They got Dudakova moving up to fight at flyweight when she's, she looks like a strawweight to me. And, she is a strawweight. But I think this could be an easy win for Gatto, maybe. No, I think this should be an easy win for Gatto. Last time out, Gatto's striking didn't look too bad. She did land some good strikes against Lipsky, but Lipsky had more power, stopped the takedowns. But I think Gatto long, lean, fighting in her weight class. I think she should be the stronger fighter here. I think she should be the better, all around better fighter. So yeah, they put this flyweight fight in last minute. It's the opener for Blanchfield, Fiorot, and then you got Vernon Jandiroba and Lupe Godinez on the card too. So yeah, not bad at all. I'll take this fight, but I hope Dudakova don't bring that staph infection again, man. Bring some other weapons, just don't bring that staph infection, man. Oh man, that was nasty, man. I mean, even the way she described it, that was nasty. Staph infection. Oh. All right, so yeah, Gatto, Dudakova, March 30th. That's a lot of fights right there. It's a lot of flyweight fights going now. So, where flyweight is succeeding, bantamweight is just kind of like moving slow. It's just kind of moving slow. Yeah, Gatto, she needs this win too because she's had a kind of rough past year. Come up short against Lipsky and Cortez. Where's Cortez at though? Where's Cortez? She going off hiding again? Who's gonna fight Cortez? With all of these other fights going on, where does Cortez fit in? That's the question. Where does Cortez fit in? And is Lauren Murphy coming back? Because she ain't gone. Like Lauren Murphy's just taken out of the rankings, but where's Lauren Murphy fit in? That's probably the fight they're gonna make. Watch them make that fight. That's probably gonna be the fight they make. Lauren Murphy and Tracy Cortez. That's probably the fight they're gonna make. Watch. The minute she comes back, they're gonna make that fight. Because who else is Tracy Cortez gonna fight? Everybody else is taken. Nobody for her to fight. Tracy's number 10. Let's see. Already fought, taken, already fought, taken. Already scheduled the fight. Taken. Yeah, ain't nobody for her to fight. So yeah, Lauren Murphy. They're gonna make Lauren Murphy and Tracy Cortez fight, which I think she'll do that one. She will do that fight. Okay. But yeah, that's all. That's all we got on this one, man. Already 2 hours talking about all these fights with y'all. I'm about to get up out of here. I'm getting hungry. But yeah, it's that like, make sure y'all subscribe, and yeah, the schedule's full here. Strawweight, it looks okay. Just don't compare right now to flyweight, but I'll talk about strawweight some other time. Like, we're gonna break some of that down later. But bantamweight, man. Bantamweight, it just needs to catch up at this point. It's got to catch up with strawweight at this point, y'all. But yeah, that's all I got, y'all. I'm gonna close this thing out here. Ain't nothing major going on this weekend as far as fights. But subscribe if you haven't. And see, I got like 30 people up in here. And yeah, I see a lot of people have been talking about WMMA lately. Some talking about it in a bad way now. So I was like, wow, like, seemed like since it's been getting a lot of steam, some people like it, of course, but some people don't. I know, especially since like Strickland has said what he said. Like, I think that, like people get brainwashed easy. People get brainwashed easy. So the minute somebody famous says something, they all agree with him. Like the minute Strickland says something about WMMA, then, a lot of people are going to agree. I think that's what it kind of stems from. To me, I think that's what it kind of comes from, because it seems like right during that wake of him saying that, a lot of people want to say, oh, it's boring. I never liked it anyway. So I'm like, oh, well, whatever. Go watch Power Slap then. Now that, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. Power Slap is trash. Never will I watch that. Anybody sends me a clip on Power Slap, I'm blocking them. I'm just saying, anybody sends me some Power Slap clip. I mean, nobody would do that. I'm just saying that's how bad it is. I would block you. Oh. But anyways, and any sport, you're going to get boring fights, okay? Any sport, you get boring fights. That's just how it is. Like, the percentage is smaller, of course, with WMMA. So if you get two boring fights, people are going to say, okay, all of it's boring because it's not as big as just regular MMA with men. But who cares, man? It's like, again, same deal, though. It's like, just have to be into the sport and you have to give it a chance. All right. Well, I'll catch y'all on the next one, y'all. Hit that like, subscribe. I'm about to go eat. Common Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.